Up, DR fam? Hope everybody had a great day. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. All right. So let's see what happened in the market today. I will tell you, I took one trade this morning. I'm gonna tell you when I took it and why I took it, and then we'll talk. Let's switch over. We're gonna do some work with the NQ today too. I just took a look at that really quick. I normally don't look at NQ. Again, it's a different pricing structure than the ES, of course. But took a look at it because of all the earnings coming up with all the tech companies, et cetera. So I wanted to see kind of what that looked like. So we'll talk about that one as well. So that's a bonus for you guys tonight. Normally we just look at the ES. So let's talk about DR for today. All right, let's see what our range was: 45.79 to 45.92. So what's that? 13.75, 85, nice. What's that? 23? Yeah, looks. Hold on, let me count again. Been a long day. Can't get my math right. All right, let's say 45.80 to 92. That's 12 points. Okay, I was right the first time. All right, get off my screen, Tim. All right, so a relatively small range today for what we're used to, but what I will say is, one of the things that we've been talking about lately is the directional bias of the DR setup, right? And so if you look at what happened today, and you guys can see it, right? We had a bias to the upside, all right? So before, as DR was setting up, that's where price was going. And so what ended up happening was when DR finished setting up at 10:30, we had this drop here, right? I call that the retrace. And if you look at where it retraced to, here's our zero point 0.5 fib, okay, which is again one of the rungs on our ladder. And so going with the kind of the advanced stuff today, kind of not waiting for DR to fully set up and confirm, I jumped in a trade here at the 0.5 fib. Once it went below and then came back up, that was where I got picked up on that trade. Now, here's the interesting part. So I was actually in training this morning and I literally forgot about this trade. All right, so I had a 5-point stop loss, and then I had a 5-point take profit. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, I had a 6-point take profit. I hit the wrong button and I had a 6-point take profit. So anyway, so by the time I actually remembered I was in this trade, this had just happened, right? This drop down here. So I was up a few points, and then that drop happened, and I saw it there, and then I started to move back up. So honestly, there was another opportunity to jump in a trade here if you weren't in that one, if you were being, a little more aggressive. And so I just let it play itself out, all right? And I did move my stop up to 3 points, so I got about right up here. So I give myself a little more, again, because we had this up move and then the drop. I was like, well, if it drops again, then I don't want it to go all the way down to 5. But it didn't. It made this move here. And the only thing I was sorry about, because I just let it play itself out. The only thing I was sorry about was I didn't move my move my take profit up, because you can see what happened, right? So I'm here, let's say 86. I got out at 92, which is around here, I think, maybe somewhere in here. And you see what happened the rest of the day. I could have just taken that all the way up. All right, let it play itself out all the way up until about 3 o'clock. All right. Now the interesting part here is, and if you're a pure play DR person, and you're looking at this, what don't we notice, or what don't we see? We actually don't see DR retracing inside, right? So we got a confirmation, right? We tapped it here, okay? We tested it here, spiked up, came back, confirmed on this candle, but we actually never came back below the DR. All right, and so what do we do with that? Okay, so a couple of things, right? One, so we need to look at our different strategies that we talk about all the time. And if you look, I went away because it got closed out. But one of the things I saw a little earlier when I went back to look was right here, fair value gap to the upside. Okay, ICT time on that one. All right, and if you notice, I don't know why this thing keeps. Sorry guys, this thing keeps. Here we go. So we have the fair value gap here. bad drawing, but you get the idea. Come back in here. We actually we retest it, right, and then come back up. So perfect opportunity for us to take a trade there. All right, you could have taken that trade at the top of the fair value gap. That's normally where I put my order at. Some people put it in the middle, right? I just put mine at the top just to give myself a little more. I'm just to make sure I'm a little more confident that it's actually going to keep going up. But then, I don't know how many points that is. Hard to do points on the tablet, but you can kind of figure out what that looks like, what that is. And if you would have been a little more patient, right? So we pick up, let's say pick up here, a little pay up, then it comes back down. Never actually comes back, below where you got picked up, and then it shoots up until 3 o'clock. Okay, so not a IDR, not a DR trade, because again, DR did not operate the way we want it to operate, right? We need that retrace. That's normally our entry spot. But again, if you're looking, you can, there's other ways you can get entries in there, right? So, kind of aggressive today, right? So, right off the bat, taking that trade there, just on the assumption that we have that bias that we're going to move up for the day, which we end up doing until the end of the day. All right. So that was that's ES. All right. Real quick, we'll look at let's look at NQ. So welcome to the NQ for people who don't look at NQ like me. But again, the pricing structure is different. I think it's $5 a point or $5 a tick versus $12.50 a tick. So I'd have to go back and look at that again just to make sure I'm comfortable. I'm pretty sure it's $5 a tick, so like $20 a point versus $50 a point on the ES. But anyway, so here we did actually have a DR setup with a retracement and opportunities here as well. So if you're looking at now, if you look at the setup here, it wasn't just straight up setup like we had on ES, right? So we actually had that, and then we came back down in here. So for me, I would not have used that as my bias. I would just waited. Okay. Now, you could have been aggressive and got in right here, right? If you look at this again, a fair value gap down here, price comes all the way down and grabs it, comes down again and grabs it. So you gotta be a little patient there, or you could, because your stop probably would have been down here somewhere. All right, but you could have been patient there, and then you see what happens after it does that, right? So pretty, again, being a little more aggressive, you could have done that trade. But let's go up here where we confirm on that candle, and we retrace right back down into right below the IDR high. So order is right here on IDR. Okay, and then you could actually have played it up. You could have. That's probably, again, I'm not gonna count points for you, but you guys can go back and look at that. But then it comes back down, comes below, but your stop would have been down here somewhere, right? That's normal stop would have been, 3 to 5 points. And so you'd have gotten a little bit of heat, but then it turns back around and you see kind of, the rest of the day what happened, right? Until about 3 o'clock, like we said before on ES. Okay, so, again, I'm not a huge NQ trader. I look at it. I know a lot of people who trade it. I may start adding that to my list to look at, just because sometimes, like I said, it takes a long time for the ES to confirm. And this might confirm a little faster just based on, again, kind of what stocks are in the index. So again, just want to show that to you. We may start tracking this. We'll, at least take a look at it and see what it does. Because the thing, the DR works on anything, right? So it's not just for ES. It'll work on NQ. It'll work on YM if you trade that. It'll work on. I've heard people look at it for for crypto. People looked at it for forex. So it's really up to you and kind of what you want to trade. But for me, I kind of stick to ES and now potentially NQ. Folks have been talking about it so much, I just had to take a look. But anyway. Hope this was helpful. Kind of expanded your thinking a little bit more, and like we say now, love on your loved ones. You never know when you won't be able to do it again, so take advantage of it. And questions, comments, you know what to do with them. And let me put them in the chat. I don't want to be mean about it. Put them in the comment box, and I'll get back to you. All right, y'all be good. Take care.